The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook. Welcome to the Gospel Road. Today we're going to look at Exodus 23. Last night my uncle was in town. Actually, he's in town again today. I had dinner with him last night. We're having dinner again with him today with my mom and dad. Going to kind of celebrate my dad's birthday a little early since he's come into town. First leg of his vacation. Again, drove in yesterday. But it's kind of, not that it's been a busy weekend, but it's turning out to be busier than what I had planned, as this is one of my final, I don't want to say free weekends, but final from not a lot of stuff going on over the next few weeks is basically what it comes down to. I know next weekend I got to work, and then the weekend after that I've got a 5K, Battle of the Burbs, and then a wedding, and then Iowa State Fair. So it's just going to be, crazy. And of course it's hot, so you can tell it's RAGBRAI because of the heat that we're feeling right now. Just so much happening, so many different things going on that, again, you have to kind of hold yourself to be in the moment, to not get caught up with too much and looking too far out, but then at the same time, making sure that you are not overtaxing yourself. Which I'll admit, this past month, probably a little much for me, as I was filling in for Big John, as he had to, some health things, had to get some surgery done, so I was in for about a month there on KJJY. In fact, I was able to even have an interview with Phil Vassar earlier this week that maybe you have already went and listened to. The podcast at kjjy.com. Those of you that kind of follow me in many different areas, and if not, I'll be sharing it on one of my other podcasts as well. But just so many things. And again, the podcast, between the Gospel Road, the Daily Planet with Jimmy Olsen, also Story Time, Bible Story Time. I know last week I was a little late on the whole 4th of July facts, but I did that. In fact, speaking of facts, I did a little game with Phil called Fact or Fallacy. It was kind of fun. I think he kind of enjoyed it too. But it's just so many things happening, and how life is changing. I'm all of a sudden on TikTok because I was talking with the guy at work, and he goes, because I do these little word of the day videos along with some other things. I was also doing these recaps of the morning show that I was doing. And he goes, you should try this. I'm like, man, I can barely do what I do with Facebook and Twitter as it is, and YouTube and everything else, Instagram. And he goes, oh, I'll try it. So, I've been, again, throwing some things in there, posting some stuff, but just so many things, at least with what I do, that we have to make sure we're crossing so many T's and dotting so many I's. And there's so much more expected out of us, because if we're not doing this, we're not worthy, is really what it comes down to. We are not a hot we're not a hot commodity. Not doing a podcast, you're not a hot commodity if I'm going to look for a job. No. And it's just a crazy, crazy world that we are in right now, and it's only getting busier. And again, we have to really kind of hold ourselves accountable, hold ourselves true to ourselves, and remember to take care of ourselves, body, mind, and spirit. I mean, I will admit, the week before I didn't make it to the gym. I think I said once, and I did make it all 5 days this past week, which was good. But again, body, mind, and spirit. We got to take care of ourselves in every way that we can. In Exodus 23, we're going to look at that today. It says, you shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. You shall not fall in with many to do evil, nor shall you bear witness in a lawsuit, siding with the many so as to pervert justice. Nor shall you be partial to a poor man in his lawsuit. If you meet your enemy's ox, or your donkey has gone astray, or his donkey has gone astray, you shall bring him back to him. If you see the donkey of one who hates you lying down under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving him with it. You shall rescue it with him. You shall not pervert the justice due to your poor in his lawsuit. Keep far from a false charge, and do not kill the innocent and righteous, for I will not acquit the wicked. And you shall take no bride, for a bride blinds the clear-sighted and subverts the cause of those who are in the right. You shall not oppress a sojourner. You know the heart of a sojourner, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. For 6 years you shall sow your land and gather in its yield. But the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie fallow, that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field may eat. You shall do likewise with your vineyards, with your olive orchard. 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and the son of your servant woman and the alien may be refreshed. Pay attention to all that I have said to you, and make no mention of the names of other gods, nor let it be heard on your lips. 3 times in a year you shall keep a feast to me. You shall keep the feast of the unleavened bread, as I commanded you. You shall eat unleavened bread for 7 days at the appointed time in the month of Abib. For in it you came out of Egypt. None shall appear before me empty-handed. You shall keep the feast of harvest, of the firstfruits of your labor, of what you sow in the field. You shall keep the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather in from the field the fruit of your labor. 3 times in a year shall all your males appear before the Lord God. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, or let the fat of my feast remain until the morning. The best of the firstfruits of your ground you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on your way and bring you to the place that I have prepared. Pay careful attention to him and obey his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if you carefully obey his voice and do that I say, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. When my angel goes before you and brings you to the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, I will blot them out. You shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do as they do, but you shall utterly overthrow them and break their pillars in pieces. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from among you. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my terror before you, and will throw into confusion all the people against whom you shall come. And I will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I will send hornets before you, and shall drive out the Hivites, the Canaanites, the Hittites from before you. And I will drive them out before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the wild beasts land. And I will set your border from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness to the Euphrates, for I will give the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them and their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it will surely be a snare to you. Exodus 23. Conquest of the land of Canaan, the Sabbath, the festivals, but important pieces. right at the beginning. If your enemy's ox or his donkey goes astray, you should bring him back to him. Remember that whole love your enemies that we've talked about before? You know, if you see a donkey of one who hates you lying under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving him with it. You will rescue it with him. You shall not pervert the justice. You know, you shall be there to help the poor. You know, the widows. You know, that's our job to really help people to be the best that they can be. And again, I've said no matter what, life isn't hard. And it does not matter if you agree with them or not, but you, me, we need to do the best that we can for them. Do not be malicious. Do not be wicked. Do not spread false reports. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But when we look in today's world, how much do we see this happening? People not taking care of others. Enemies not helping enemies. Hatred. People not helping people. Brothers not helping brothers. Sisters not helping sisters. You know, you know how it goes on and on and on and on. In fact, they will do anything that they can to steal from you, to take from you. And this is at work. This is at home. I mean, a lot of it's even within families. We're not even talking about your neighbor. That people are not wanting to get along. I was talking last night about how family are not talking to family because of political reasons, other reasons. You know, we're not being very Christ-like. We're not being very Christian. We're not being very good human beings. Let's take the spirituality out of it for a minute. You're just not being a good human. I'm not being a good human all the time. I do my best. I try. But I fail. I fail. But I'm not perfect. But I get up and keep trying. You know, maybe it's time to stop failing and time to start trying. Maybe it's time to get up. Maybe it's time to help someone else up when they fall and not kick them while they're down. But, you know, we have people in authority that are showing us that example because that's what they do. They kick others when they're down. I don't care what side you're on. It happens on both sides. They kick someone when they're down. It's my way or the highway. There is no compromise. There is no discussion. There's no conversation to be had because this is it and I have said it and so be it. Amen. Blah, blah, blah. Da, da, da. Yeah, there's days I get frustrated. There's days I get, you know, I kind of get on a soapbox and I kind of feel like I might be on one right now and I haven't been on one for a while. But, you know, I just get frustrated seeing that. Seeing how we are treating one another or not treating one another. Especially those who say that they're Christians. Love one another. You know, the Bible. Pastor Bob Beeman, I watch his vlogs and, you know, have followed him for many years. You know, the rock and roll preacher. Remember when I was a kid and that was all our dream was to go out to Sanctuary Church in California to, you know, be part of their service because, you know, their band was a rock and roll band, you know. It was a metal band. Metal worship. Never made it. Of course, he's not there anymore. But he always says it's love, love, love. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. And that's so true. You know, I've read through the Bible multiple times and I'm making my way through again. And I always say, you know what, I will ask a question. If you could sum up the Bible, both New Testament and Old Testament, what is the one word to sum up the entire thing? And people have many definitions. obedience. But it's love. The Old Testament was God's love for his chosen, his people. He's taking care of them to get them to the land of milk and honey. And then in the New Testament, it's about love. It's loving everyone. Jesus Christ died on the cross to love us so we can be saved, to open that door to heaven. It's love. It can never be said enough. Love. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. Love, love, love. Be a friend. Be a helper. Don't be a deterrent. Don't take things away. Don't hold people back. Be there to build them up, to encourage them, to uplift them, to really get them to where they need to be, to get that next level for them so they can be better. Being better today than I was yesterday. Being better tomorrow than I am today. It's that constant journey of learning, being better, doing better, and helping others while you're doing that. Being there for them. Loving them. Again, they do not have to see eye to eye with you. They do not need to agree with you. But we need to take care of them. So much out there. So much can be done in little steps. It doesn't have to be a big chunk. Just doing something for somebody every day. That random act of kindness, we always hear about that. But just doing something for someone every day. Giving them a smile, telling them hello, holding a door open. Saying, excuse me. Just saying hello to a stranger. I always remember driving on the rural areas on the 2-lane roads, and every time you pass a vehicle, they wave at everybody that goes by. They always wave. Why can't we be like that every day? Why does it just have to be in the rural area? Exodus 23, read that. How does it speak to you? How does it help you? What does it do for you to be better? To help others be better? If you enjoyed this podcast, you can always share it on social media, and you can find me on Facebook and Twitter at My Buddy Jimmy, and on YouTube at My Buddy Jimmy 101, and also check out all my other podcasts and the other different things that I do. I kind of create more things. I have more ideas, and I just don't get to all of them because I've got a few things going on. Somebody said to me that, you always work. I'm like, yeah, I do. But unfortunately, I'm an adult, and I have adult responsibilities. We read the Bible and see how things were taken care of many years ago, but we don't see that today. Not even in the Bible, just, the trading that happened, 100 years ago here in America. There's no trading. It's cash. Green. Show me the money. Little Jerry Maguire there for you. Show me the money. Oh, I don't know. There's just so much. And it's not easy. Again, I'm doing my best. Thank you so much for listening. And again, you can always check prior podcasts as well when you go and, this is podcasts, and all my podcasts are pretty much available on any platform you listen to. But like I said, you can follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and then on YouTube at My Buddy Jimmy 101, which even the podcasts are available on there too. But thank you so much for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.